Okay, so next and last in all of these collectibles is enemies. So the first enemy that we have to collect is the Gnomon. So you see these enemies, most of them, at least, I don't know about this guy, but you see most of these enemies throughout the game normally, but you can't just throw the enemy into a reclamation bin. Instead, it's just a normal collectible ball that you toss in. Just like most of these, some of these. Yeah, actually, yeah. Most of these are just collectible balls that you throw in. So, same thing with the enemies. This guy is really easy to find in a lot of places in the story. I prefer to go to museum, but you can also go to tower, and he's in the red room, or the red key room, rather. There are a lot of these guys, but there are a lot of them in museum as well. I believe this guy is scattered throughout a couple more levels, but those are the only ones that come to mind. Okay, that finally loaded in. Museum takes a while for some reason. But yeah, all you need to do is just go through museum, and because it's this series, I will show you every step away from the place with the thing. I really am lost for words today. Yeah, the main menu, to each collectible, to each reclamation bin. And this is a part of that. Maybe it's because I was running around in the previous episode just looking for the Dragon Ball collectible so much it fried my brain. Probably not, but who knows. Just go through here. And if you probably see me go through museum my own way a lot in the past. Because I go here for a lot of the collectibles, because it's just really easy to run through, and even if it may not be strictly the fastest way, it's still really nice to go to one place for a lot of the collectibles, in my opinion. Yep, and I like hopping up here too, because it's a nice little hop, mount, and then you're up here. Obviously, you can go any way you'd like, as long as you get up to here. And right to our left is the first place where you can get these collectibles, or enemies, I guess. Gnomon right here, but that costs currency and you don't need to do that. Instead, what you can do is grab this, put that trash can there, that way it blocks this gate. Then just run all the way to the end where the gift shop is, and there will be tons of these guys that you can just pick up. And if you're going for an all collectibles run anyway, you'll want to go here because there is a gift box behind the desk that has the baseball in it, or rather has a chance to spawn the baseball in it. But see, tons of them. And these guys are what we have been looking for. Yeah, this one's pretty easy. So, just run back. And once this guy hits the reclamation bin, it's been collected and you are done. I'm used to talking a lot more about these, but this one really is that easy. So there you go. Okay, the next enemy to collect is the modified Gnomon, the melon Gnomon guys. So this one is in sewers, as you might have expected, since there are a lot of these guys in sewers. For this collectible, you do not need to do any fancy pipe climbing to get to the purple key. You can just use the normal yellow key. So just hop through sewers as normal. And then once you get to the room with, I mean, there are lots of rooms with melons in this level, as you might imagine, but when you get to the room that has a lot of the cleavers in it and the bright light room, yep, that is where the Boneworks box for this collectible enemy is. And since it's this series where I show you every collectible in Boneworks from main menu to the collectible to the reclamation bin, I am going to be doing just that. So just hop down from here and you can grab the night vision goggles over there if you want, but if not, just run through here, go through the little pipe maze. So yeah, I think just quick left and then right and then left. Guy drops down, then of course the left here and the right there, and you're out. That's my preferred way through, but you can go through any way you like, of course. And then hop, or in my case failed hop, over the little corners to save really not that much time, but it's fun, so why not? There's always the chance of falling and restarting. So why not? And then I broke the lock with my head. You can just use a normal melee weapon or even a gun. I don't think about them as much in story mode because I'm used to collecting all the ammo for 100% runs, but yeah, you can absolutely use gun and shoot the locks. Then just hop down through here because again, we don't need to get the purple key. We don't need to do the absurd pipe climb here to that fan or to the other side. All we need to do is just run through some enemies and try not to die. Grab the yellow key. Try not to die. And then go through here. Actually, it would have been a bit easier if we did get the purple key, but that's fine. We can get through from this angle. Let's just pull off these crates, even though it's a bit hard to see. At least for me it's hard to see, for you it's probably fine. Which is the benefit of the camera mode, I suppose. So just drag these. If you break them, then their little shards will cause issues, the little wood shards. So it's safer, just pull them off. Okay. And then right through here is the purple key room that we want to get to. So there's a platter thing right here that you can pull. And if you're very careful, you can open up a little entryway into there. Oh my goodness, it is so dark I can't see a thing. Anyway, trust me though, if you grab at like these corners, you can pull these concrete blocks down. Yeah, like that. Just kind of push at the corners and they fall down. And then hop through here, and then I think you can just push this second concrete block. It is so dark, oh my goodness. But yeah, you can push the second concrete block forward, and then you run, and you're good. Okay, so the other way to get through here is the purple key door, which is over here. But as I just showed you, you don't need to do that. Regardless, once you're in here, the bright white room with all the hatchets, all you need to do is to open up this Boneworks box, grab the collectible, and you can see it's these corrupted melon gnomen guys. So just throw this guy into your reclamation bin, and you are done. Boom. The next enemy to find is Enemy Ford. You fight these guys or find these guys in Throne Room and in Dungeon. And in fact, this collectible is in dungeon. So this is a pretty tiny level in story mode, but it does have a Boneworks box over the door, or over the exit door rather. So easiest way to get there is to just hop up and climb through here, climb out of the dungeon. Oh my goodness. I know the previous sewers one was dark for me, but I guess maybe I'm just having trouble seeing things recently. Regardless, now that we're up here, here's the reclamation bin we'll want to get, so I just wanted to show you guys that. And if you do a good jump, here's the Boneworks box we're looking for. So just open it. Try not to hit the cardboard boxes that are taking all the damage for it. And here is the enemy ford that we've been looking for. So there's probably a way to get back up there from here, but I just dropped down. And then go through here into the little cafe thing. And then run upside with these stairs. And then you're in here. Just open the cage door or dungeon cell door and then climb up here again. It is kind of easy to get stuck on these, so as you can see. So don't worry about that, or if you missed that jump a couple of times, don't worry. I've come up here many times in many different runs, but regardless, once you got this guy, just throw him in here. He has been collected and you are done. Okay, the next enemy, quote unquote, to collect is this little null rat guy, the little spherical guys that run around. You see them at the very beginning of the game in Break Room, just running around. But this collectible is in sewers. And unfortunately, it is the part of sewers that is the purple key door hallway. So there's no way, at least to my knowledge, to get around doing the awful pipe climb in this level, which I will show you if you are not familiar with it already. But this guy is, see, these little guys. These little guys are the ones, or are the collectible that we're trying to find. But yeah, the pipe climb is definitely rough, and I probably won't do it in this video. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I've done it a bunch of times in other videos in this series, and it is rough. It is probably, in my opinion, the hardest thing in the game to do. So by the way, hop down here, go through the little sewer pipe maze here. So just a quality left, and then a right, then a left, then a straight, the enemy falls down, then a left, and then of course a right because of the sign. And you're out. That's my preferred way. You can go any way you like. Oh, I didn't see the null rat like falling down and hovering there before. That's interesting. Regardless, yeah, this guy can sometimes push the door back on you, so try not to fall down the center, of course. Try not to die in general, because even though sewers isn't that bad enemy-wise, you can definitely die here. So don't worry about it if you do. I'm trying to open this textureless lock with my head. It works there. Otherwise, you can just use any melee weapon or ranged weapon to open up that lock. It's really hard to see though, because it is black and textureless. But it is definitely there. So we are going to want to go right, maybe? Yeah, I think right. Yep. Try not to die. So this is the pipe climb. So it is very tough to climb because you have to get every single handhold right all the way along here, from here all the way over to that purple key. Yeah, I'm getting pretty obliterated there. Doesn't matter though, I should end up back there. Or maybe it'll throw me back further in level, I don't know. Oh, that was strange. But that's actually good to note, because if you do fall in this very challenging pipe climb, make sure you keep a bunch of these guys alive, that way it respawns you back up here like you just saw. So the main thing for this pipe climb is to avoid these black bands along the pipes, because they are usually not grabbable. There are some other hidden parts of the pipe along here, this pipe climb, that are also not grabbable, so watch out for that. Double check every single climb hold, but regardless, save some time, because sometimes it takes me, 5-6 times to get this right. You go over here, grab the key, and then you can just fall down and break this lock. Pretty sure there's a lock here. Yep, you can see it. Okay, there we go. And once you get into here, there's a little place for a purple key. You put that in, and then this is not the Boneworks box we're looking for. We're looking for the Boneworks box at the very end of this tunnel. So not the one here, even though I believe that has the zombie in it. So while you're here, you should just collect all of them. But for this video, all we're interested in is this one. So this has the little no rack guy in it. Come on. Come on. Maybe I should have brought a melee weapon with me, just to open these a bit faster. But here you go, the cute little guy himself. Let's see, yeah, from that side. So there's a reclamation bin right behind here. And yes, I am kind of blind as a bat in this level, but that's fine. So yeah, just throw this guy in the reclamation bin. He has been collected, and you are good. Okay, the next enemy collectible is the Ford Head, and this guy is pretty hidden in the tower level. Way up at the top of tower in that central green area, that is where the Ford Head is. So once we load in here, all we need to do is climb to top of tower, and then hop into the little green area, and it is actually going to be above us. So if you don't have Nimbus gun or any other way to fly, with the utility gun probably, then what you'll want to do is grab onto these green little pill shaped things and climb up there. But since all of these videos are about showing you from each from the main menu to each collectible and then to the reclamation bin, I'm going to show you all of it. So I prefer hopping up here to get the red key and bypass the blue key. It just saves a bit of time. Otherwise, in that main area, the fountain at the top has the blue key. You plug it in there, and then it just has a staircase going up here. But I feel like just climbing up and getting the red key is a bit faster than the green key is here. And this green key, of course, lets us into the main part of tower. So we can bypass all of this stuff on the first floor. And either, oh, also try not to die. Either hop over the fence and go in there, or just go in here. Then go up these stairs to the first reclamation bin, but we don't have anything to reclaim yet. So, through the hallway of almost certain death. If you have to punch a few of these guys in the face, that's okay. It's kind of hard to get through here without taking down a few of these. Then go through one door, that way the other acts as like a shield. Then through here, where the weird ammo location is, up there. Yeah, try not to die. Then there are a bunch of ways to get into the bar area, but I prefer just climbing up here, and then sticking my hand in, and then mounting. When you stick your hand in, your hand needs to not be like this, it needs to be like this. That way you have the little bit of extra elevation to climb over. Otherwise, you can just climb up here and do basically the same thing, or you can lower that bridge thing. Let me see if I can get over there. Yeah. So yeah, you could climb up this, and then up to here, and then just do a little hop over. Be sure to do a big hop over. Try not to die over this thing, otherwise its hitbox will kind of entangle you. Then into the dancing area. Grab the yellow key. Put it in here. Grab it again.
Okay, so little update.
No interruptions. Okay. Then grab either this yellow key or the one that's on the desk. Go through here. And we are now at the top of tower. So we just need to get to the green area in the middle. We might be able to see the Boneworks box from here. Yeah, right up there is where we need to get to. So, you know what? Let's use this sphere. And you have to do some pretty good committed jumps to get over here. So don't worry if that takes you a couple of times. You might be able to climb up here with the gravity cups. But that's only if you have utility gun, and if you have utility gun, that means you can buy the dev gun, which means you can do the gravity plate thing and fly up here anyway. So, yeah, so it's right there. If you see, if you see material marked there, and then this like apartment building, my throat today. This apartment block here, in the corner of that, just climb up here. You'll see the Boneworks box as you look up. Remember to crouch and game, otherwise it'll be tough to get on top of this. Then just a little jump. A good jump, but a little jump. And then this guy just detaches pretty easily. And then just drop him. And then open it. So this is the forward head we've been looking for, and there you go. So now we just have to reclaim it. So you could drop back down, and then actually it's over here. Maybe. Yeah. Go through the green door again, and then drop this off in that reclamation bin, or you can hop back over with some dedicated jumps and put this in the reclamation bin at the end of the level. And once this guy hits the blue mesh reclamation bin, it has been collected and you are good. Okay, the next enemy collectible is the crablet there. So this guy is kind of hard to find and definitely hard to get, unfortunately. So if you go to warehouse, this collectible is at the end of the level in a Boneworks box, and it is way up there. So first,
Hey!
No interruptions. Secondly, just kind of bypass this first area. however you would like. I just like hopping the fence when I can actually get a good jump. Okay. Then go over here, hop up. There are a bunch of ways to go over to your second area, but I like that the most because it's pretty quick and efficient. And then you can bypass this area as well. We just need to get to the end of the level, so just go through here and then hop up here or use the ladder. Then hop here. And again, it doesn't really matter how you get to this point once you're in this alleyway. First off, it's going to be kind of tough to stay alive, honestly. So try and take out as many of these wannabe Combine soldiers as possible. A good punch to your face usually gets them. There we go. Usually. Unfortunately, 2 of them in the train do despawn every time you die. The others do stay dead though, which is good, but these 2 guys you do have to take out every time. So don't worry if you die a bunch here. I guess you could grab a weapon and use it. I'm just so used to conserving ammo that I guess I don't think of that. But yeah, I guess you could just take a normal gun and finish them off that way. So, oh, and these guys exist too, I guess. So then, what do you need to do? Is hop up on top of the train. So, our Boneworks box is right there. And I honestly don't know how many times this will take me to get up there, but I will show you the whole thing. So first you get up here, then you mount on top of this fan, then no joke, you hop up there, you mount, because none of this is climbable except for these 2 yellow pipes, but there's no real practical way to get to the 2 yellow pipes. Then you mount on top of the black pipe, you run along, and then you take down the Boneworks box itself. So, speaking of, this is a time where, I guess, since using ammo isn't that big of a deal in this series, how should I get back over? Let me just climb here. So, I was thinking that you should probably grab the SMG that's in here, but I may have soft locked that, so that's fine. But you should definitely grab the SMG that's there. I can just spawn it, I guess. That's in there. Also, I'll help you stay alive. As I said, these 2 guys respawn. Wow, my aim is terrible, apparently. Okay, so you'll need that, or you'll want that rather, because it'll be way easier to get the Boneworks box down. Otherwise, if you don't want to spend any ammo, you can grab, I think there's a wrench and a couple of other basic melee weapons throughout the level, and you just have to throw those up at the Boneworks box to break it, or rather at the wooden supports underneath so that the Boneworks box falls. And no, moving the train unfortunately does not help. You can move it back to give yourself a bit more of a space left to right, but honestly getting on top of a fan isn't the hard part, it's this part right here. So yeah, right there is the tough part. Getting on top of that black girder is really tough. Yeah, sometimes if you don't quite get it, you can fall backwards and still land up here. Got my head there, that was odd. I would not suggest using your chin in the game to hold on to it. It being the black girder. Another other way to do this, honestly, is if you grab your utility gun. If you have your utility gun, then you can just do this. And is it this? No. It would be grab the plate. If you hold this guy upside down, then you can kind of fly with it, and then you can get up there and get it. However, I'm assuming that you don't have those yet. And of course, if you have the Nimbus gun, then you don't need to do any of this at all. Don't get too excited. Bend your legs in the game and then twist sideways when you're in that location. Okay. And then, for goodness sake, don't lose it. Jump, side, grab. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's not how it's supposed to go. You're supposed to hop onto the black pipe. But I managed to save myself there. So, once you're here, look straight up and either throw something at those or just shoot one of the things there. Now that's down, the hard part is over. You got it. You got the crablet collectible. Just throw this guy in the reclamation bin and you are done. Phew. Okay, the next enemy to collect is the zombie. So this guy is in sewers. Unfortunately, not the easy part of sewers to get to. This collectible is in the purple key hallway. It's the second Boneworks box you come across from either direction, since there are 3. And purple key means that you'll need to, unfortunately, do the pipe climb if you don't have a way, well, if you don't have the utility gun yet, frankly. Because if you do, then you'll be able to fly. Otherwise, not so much.
You're heading to the tower to reset.
Oh my goodness. Give me a second.
I've been obsessing over...
There we go. There we go. Commentary uninterrupted, totally. I tell you, getting through these wooden boards is tough sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, the pipe climb is, I would consider the toughest part of at least 100% run. Yeah, probably. Maybe the baseball grind, because that's random number generation nonsense. But otherwise, the night vision goggles are over there on the couch. Not in real life, in the game, of course. And you can grab those if you'd like, but otherwise just go in here, take a left, then a right, then a left, the enemy drops down here, and then do a right, and then a left, and of course a right, because it'll show right there, and you get through. But any way that you get through is fine, of course. I think that's the quickest way, at least for me. And then try not to fall in the giant pit because it takes forever to actually respawn. There is an untextured lock here, so either use a natural weapon or your head, which I did. Go over the bridge. And yeah, we're almost to the awful pipe climb. And of course the collectible, of course. So we actually want to go right. Because this is where the start of the pipe climb is, up there. Try not to die, as always. Been going on these collectible hunts. So this pipe, right? Let me grab Nimbus Gun, that way I can talk about getting interrupted by Nolan. So, this pipe climb, right? This is what you'll need to do to get the purple key, unless you have a way to fly, or unless you have the incredible skill to hop. I think it's from... Yeah, there should be some metal crates here. Okay, maybe not. I thought that you could hop from there to there, up to there, but I guess not. But yeah, this pipe climb is tough because of two main factors. So, if you see this black bar across or around the pipe, there is no texture there, or there is no handhold there. So you can grab here, you can grab here, but you can't actually grab on it. See how it does that weird thing? And this weird thing will not support your weight, unfortunately. So watch out for that. And also at this transition point, it's tough to like swap around your hands. At this intersection, sometimes you can fall on this lamp, but usually you just bounce off of it and fall down anyway. And that's why you should keep as many of these guys alive as possible for easy resets, because when you die, you'll respawn like here. Also, you can use the sign to hop up here, which is a pretty easy hop instead of a dedicated jump like that to get up to pipe. But anyway, I have done that pipe climb so many times in this series, and no offense, I am not a fan of going through it again. So yeah, once you get this purple key, then you can just fall down. And then there is another untextured lock here. There we go. You can break it with a weapon or with your head. And now the hard part is over. Ignore the first Boneworks box and try not to die in the hallway. It's not too bad, but yeah, if you get swarmed, it can be bad. So then open this Boneworks box, and this will have the zombie collectible, as you can see. So now it's actually really easy to get to the reclamation bin. Just run through the end of this hallway, and there is a nice reclamation bin in the middle of the purple room. So just grab a key or use the purple key from before, and then throw this guy in. And once that guy hits the reclamation bin, it has been collected, and you are done. Okay, the next collectible after the purple key nightmare of the zombie collectible is this guy. So zombie with the helmet on his head, or the headset on his head. You meet these guys a lot throughout the game, and this collectible is actually really easy to get. So just go to warehouse, and once you load in, just look up and right, and you'll see the Boneworks box that this collectible is in. It's right there. So how to get there? It's pretty easy. You can either run up this, hop onto roof, and then start climbing, or you can just start climbing from ground level. If I can climb properly. Oh, that just doesn't have that consistent of a handhold. That's interesting. So I guess, yeah, okay. This is an alternate way to climb up, but no less valid. You can use these yellow pipes and these like windowsills, I suppose, to climb up. And I wouldn't blame you if you didn't think that this was a handhold, because fair enough. But the yellow pipes do cue it a little bit, so it's not super difficult to see. Yeah, wow, my climbing ability is not. Oh well, that's fine. Once you get over here, you can just drop down and then hop up, grab the girder. Probably the lower part of the girder. The upper part seems to be quantum superimposition-y right now. Oh, well, I guess all of it is. Okay. Then grab this corner and just climb up. And then once you're up here, you did it. Congratulations. I suppose you could use those pipes as well. Right, you hop up there, windowsill, up there, and then up here. But regardless, just push this off of the edge. It should break on its own. And this is the zombie wearing a headset. So just put that in your inventory and then get to the end of the level. Obviously, the wannabe combine soldiers at the
everyone's
end
kind of freaking
are a bit tough to get past without dying a bunch of times, so don't worry if you do die a couple of times. Trying to get to the reclamation bin. Thankfully though, we don't have to do the awful train jump this time, which means that we don't really need to worry about getting to the end of the level per se. We just need to worry about getting to the reclamation bin at the end of the level. So obviously it doesn't matter how you get there, but this is my preferred route. Hop up there, hop up here. It kind of avoids most of the enemies. Kind of, because obviously those guys are still there. And now it's a bit tough to get past these wannabe combine soldiers because there are a lot of them. But just throw it in. And when it hits the reclamation bin, you've done it. You're good. Okay, the next enemy is the Arthur Ford enemy, but with a headset. So like the zombie one, but it's Ford instead of zombie. So this one is actually kind of tough to find, but it's pretty easy to actually collect. So it's at the very top of Time Tower, on top of the apartment building side. There's a little Boneworks box, and the way you get up there, or at least the easiest way to get up there, is to use the elevator. Well, fine, the easiest way is to use Nimbus gun, but assuming that you don't have utility gun, etc., and that you're just running through this, which I always assume, to the best of my ability, that means that you'll want to use the elevator to get up on top. The issue with using the elevator, though, is that you'll need to obviously jump out right before it teleports you to Time Tower itself, because the elevator is how you leave the level as well. So that will definitely take some timing, but regardless, let's just start tower normally. So I like hopping up here to get the red key, that way I can bypass the yellow key, which is in the fountain in the main room. Then grab green key, store it, try not to die, run over to this corner, and I haven't been doing this in a lot of the recent videos, but if you get on your knees and do these little jumps, you can actually move a bit faster than just normal running in the game. But normally I just kind of stand and walk around. I don't know. I mean, in real life I stand and walk around. This is the hallway of death, so don't worry if you need to punch a few of these guys in the face, or if you die a couple of times. So that's why that previous hit didn't land. If you have ammo in your hand, your punches don't deal as much damage. That's interesting. Well, okay. As I said, if you die a few times here, it's fine. Don't worry about it. If you, I guess, want to get through this faster, you could just grab a gun and then, you know, actually play the game normally. To me, I'm used to conserving ammo at all times. So, you know. Should be fine, yeah. So then go through the area with the weird ammo location, which is up there. I will always remember it, because it is such a weird location for ammo. Then into the bar, where multiple ways, but, oh come on. Yeah, sometimes your hand doesn't latch on properly, but you key up this way, or you can get up this way. And then take a big jump over this thing, otherwise it ensnares you like that. And these two blue throwy guys can kill you pretty quickly if you get stuck in that thing. Yellow key. And we're pretty much at the top by now. There we go. Yep, so now we are at the top. And there is a Boneworks box down here, but you don't need to grab it anymore. You can grab that collectible in Dungeon. And I've already done a video on that anyway. So, now just get to the opposite corner. I like running along here. I guess because, well, I mean, it is faster. It's just, it's a bit more nerve-wracking. Because if you fall, then, you know. So, our Boneworks box is right up there. You can see it. And you might be like, how the heck do you get up there? Which, fair. The easiest way is to just use the elevator, but as I said, you kind of have one shot at it. If you jump too early, that's fine. It's if you jump too late. So get all the way out, and then do a big jump and mount. Or try and time it with a normal jump, but I don't know, I wouldn't trust that. Then just throw this guy over, follow it down, that way you don't lose the collectible. I said that way you don't lose the collectible. There we go. And yeah, you can see Ford's little hands and things there. And I think there's like veins in the zombie texture as well that aren't in the Ford texture. So anyway, once you get that, just throw it in the reclamation. That scared me. I was like, what? Yeah, trust me, you can throw it in the reclamation bin and then you have it and you're done. But I guess make sure that it goes zoop and disappears. That was very strange. Okay, the next enemy to collect is the King Crablet. You see this guy at the very end of Throne Room, and you also see him a bit in Fantasy Arena. But this guy's pretty easy to get, I guess. He's in Time Tower, nestled in a little nook in the, so if you think of Time Tower as this room, and you come up through here, he's up here. So whether or not it's easy to get is wholly up to how much ammo you've collected up until now. If you can at least afford these, so if you at least have 17,200 ammo between both of your ammo types, you're good. Otherwise, not really the case. So they're these gravity cups, and I'll just zoop them into existence instead of, you know, paying for them and taking a bunch of time out of the video. So, once you have these guys, all you need to do is run over to this side, and they are in that nook. There is nothing in that little nook. I don't know why. I think there was something there a long time ago, but that might have been removed in the April update. So yeah, you can just start climbing, and obviously if you have any other ways to fly, you can use those. But this is the case where you pretty much need one of these physics items. Yeah. There might be a way to super jump or something and glitch yourself up here, but I don't know about it. So once you've done that, you can just open this Boneworks box, and this is the King Crablet collectible. Come on. Okay. Yep, as you can see, the little crown there. So now all you need to do is just hop back down and throw this guy in the reclamation bin. And once you've done that, oh, by the way, those little climbing things, if you attach them to yourself, it gives you larger jumps. But anyway, once this guy's in the reclamation bin, he has been collected and you are good. Okay, the next enemy to collect is the turret down here. So, as you might expect, actually, this one makes a lot of sense. It's in Streets, because Streets is the first place that you meet the turret, I think. Yeah, I don't think he's in Museum anywhere. So yeah, first place you meet the turret is in Streets, and the collectible is right next to your turret. The issue with this collectible, which you can see right here, it's that Boneworks box that I may be pointing to, depending on how the camera is set up, but regardless, it's up there in that concrete grass looking structure. The issue with it, at least for me, is that even though everyone else seems to be able to solve this instantly, you just run up there. Yeah, I mean, I might as well just try and hop the fence. I'm curious. Yeah, I guess you can't hop the fence that easily. Okay. Well, regardless. Yeah. It's fine. I'm just explaining something, so it's fine. Most people, like everyone else I've seen, just goes up here, grabs this, and then pulls it over, and then that knocks this over, the Boneworks box falls out, you're good. I have never been able to do that, so let me show you how I get to that Boneworks box. It is a bit tougher, but it has to do with getting the balloon gun that is in this level. So I am going to show my normal route through this level. I suppose I could try for the vent jump, but regardless, it doesn't really matter for this part of the level what you do. I was too close to the boundary, so I didn't want to do a dedicated jump there and hit something in real life. That was close. There's a vent up there that I'm trying to get to. If I don't get it this time, I'll just continue normally. Oh, but that was so close, though. That was so close. Okay. Bad jump. Okay, fine. Fine. If you put your head here, the Gnomeman on the other side will open the door for you. Just move this up and this down. Then you can go back the other way. And you can do that with or without the yellow key. In that room is the blue key, if you didn't come this reverse way that I showed earlier. So then hop down here. And I didn't move the red wheel, so you just have to hop up. You can also run up this thing and hop over, which gives you a bit of elevation. But regardless, you get through here and then pull this down. And then I prefer jumping and climbing this white pole because it's slightly faster and it's pretty easy to do. Then run along here. I haven't fallen down in the grinder thing in a while, but there's always a chance. Then just hop off and then hop up here, mount. Remember to crouch in game when you mount. 3 ammo on the button opens it, and then mount up here. Either you can grab this or this, or you can just mount up normally. Got the monitor first time. Okay, so we're close to kind of my secret to how I quote-unquote solve the puzzle. Instead, I grab the balloon gun, which is in the room past the globe room, which we'll see in like 1 second. Globe room, it's right up there. Right up there is the balloon gun. And unfortunately, the only way that I know of, at least, to get it, without flying of course, is hopping up here, hopping over there, and getting over there. So let me see if I can do this in the first few times, otherwise I'll just... Oh boy, that was lucky. one of the other videos, jump. One of the other videos, it took me ages to get that jump. But anyway, it's a very tough jump, and you have to land so that your hands land on it and don't push you away from the wall. It's very tough, even though the top of that is pretty frictiony, so it holds your hands pretty well, but still. You might think that hopping across here is the obvious solution, but let me grab this first. But the issue is, even after you get on top of it, it moves out from under you. So if you go forward, it goes backwards. And even if you wait for the timing, it'll just move out from under you, kind of like how this trampoline does if you try to jump. Your jumps are a lot lower because the trampoline is canceling them out. And it's basically the same thing with those. But now that you got the balloon gun, the collectible is basically yours. So all you have to do is find something like this. I think the benches even work, but I prefer these 1x2 metal things. So you can't fly by attaching balloons to yourself, but you can absolutely fly by attaching it to something else. Even if you're grabbing it, like a trash can works, a barrel works, like melon belly barrels work. So once you're up this high, you can basically go anywhere in the map. So we want to jump over. Actually, I missed that jump. We want to land on top of this railing, or grab onto any of these grabbable points of this railing. So let me see if I can salvage this. Nope, I didn't think that that was grabbable, but I wanted to try just in case. So yeah, we want to land on this railing. For one thing, landing on the railing in general is a good idea, because you can get to anywhere on the map really easily by just running along the rail. I guess the balloons made me forget about where I was going to jump to, but yeah, we want to land on that rail. Also, the reason why I'm spinning is to keep this relatively even. You obviously don't have to spin if you don't want to. So, put that away and then jump. As you can see, we can pretty easily get on top of this. We could, but we didn't, so let's try again, right? Nice thing about balloon gun is that you can try this over and over again. Let's use this one. I've never tried them standing up, rather when they're like this instead of like this. So let's see. Yeah, that's about good enough. Okay. Ooh. I didn't actually grab it, but I kinda grabbed it, which was good enough. So all of these are climbable, as I mentioned earlier. So you can just climb up here and onto the rail. That was probably the toughest time I've ever had getting onto rail in this level, but oh well. Also, you can land up there or up there and hop over. It's not that bad. I just really was not on my game when it came to jumping onto rail, but at the end here, it disappears, so do a big jump to ensure that you get onto here. These are all still grabbable, so if you fall, be sure to try to catch yourself on them. But what we want is to be here, run along here, and jump down here. It's not that bad of a jump, and then not that bad of a mount. Remember to crouch in game when you're mounting, otherwise your legs will get in the way of you trying to like pull yourself up. Then hop around here, and another easy jump, height wise. Just an easy little mount, and I'm crouch jumping to make this a bit faster. So there will be a white pipe here. You want to land, whoa. You want to land on that white pipe, or land on the surface there. I'm going to try for the latter. And yeah, it's not that hard of a jump, but it's more nerve-wracking than anything else. I guess you could just take the balloon gun and use... See those barrels down there? You could use those to grab onto and then fly your way up and try again. But the main thing is that from here you're going to jump and grab the Boneworks box. And as I said, you can use the balloon gun to try again if you don't get it first time. And this is the turret collectible. So here we go. Not those guys, but this guy up here. See that guy? That's the collectible that this is for. And remember how I said that it's easy to get out? It is, if you don't die. As always in my videos, try not to die. I wonder where that will put us. But anyway, all you need to do now is get to the reclamation bin to turn this guy in. Actually, that's really convenient because we have one of these things to fly with. Even though if we're in the area here, the thing will try and eat us. So let's use, I guess, a destructible crate. They're not that great because they're destructible, but they definitely work for flight. Also, the balloons, for some reason, do better with things that have more mass. So those 1x2 metal crate things have pretty much the most mass in the game, so they do really well. I was too focused on the balloon gun and possibly losing it. That was a real shame. But anyway, what we want to do is get on the rail again. And this time, get that ammo crate off. And this time, run all the way to the end of the level. Again, destructible crates. They're not the best for this. Let me see if I can push this guy over. Yeah, okay, that was pretty easy. And again, the main thing is to keep it even. So if it's tilting in any way, if there's any part that's facing down, put more balloons on it, is the main thing there. So let me just hold on to this. See, it's not that hard. It just takes a bit of concentration. But don't worry if you fall off a couple of times. It's fine. So now, believe it or not, this is the quickest way to the end that I know of anyway, is you just hop along here. Well, quickest without like Nimbus gun or anything, obviously. But just running into level, this is the quickest way back that I know of. So right here it stops, so do a little jump. And then over here, and we are at the reclamation bin. So the moment that this guy hits the blue mesher reclamation bin, it has been collected and you are good. Okay, the next enemy collectible is the, and I just forgot its name. It's this ball thing, Omni-Wrecker? Omni-Wrecker might be its name. Anyway, this is really easy to find. It's in streets, and I don't think it even appears in the game proper. It's just something that you can summon in the sandbox levels, like in Hover Drunkers and in Blank Box. But regardless, it is a collectible. So it is near the end of streets. There's a little alleyway that you can go into near the very end of the level. It has a Boneworks box at the end, and that is the collectible that we are looking for. Now, another way to get this collectible is to go through museum, and at the end there's a little mini course thing where you drive a rollerball around a little tiny city. You hit the other side and it gives you a Boneworks box, and that Boneworks box also has this collectible. However, oh my goodness, usually this works. There we go. Now he opened it for us. But yeah, that is another way to get this collectible, through museum. However, I have gone through museum so many times for this series. And no offense to museum, but I have gone through it so many times that I would rather go through streets for this video than through museum. Several, 149 collectibles in total, and a lot of those are in museum, including this one, in fact. So if you'd like to go that way, feel free to. No shame in it or anything, it's just I prefer this way. Also, I find it slightly easier to get the collectible here, because you don't have to go through a minigame, you don't have to climb up and throw daggers at it and then pull it off of the little shelf it's on, which are the two ways that, or which is the way that I do it. I don't think I've ever actually done the minigame, quote unquote, as intended in Boneworks, but, or in museum in Boneworks. But either way, that is another way to get to the collectible. So I am showing you my route through streets. You do not have to follow me necessarily. But fun fact, you can get there slightly quicker if you have the golf club. You can just activate that little button. You might not even be able to see it, but there's a little pedestal with a button. It'll deactivate this one energy field barrier thing. You can walk around it, and at the end you'll see the little alleyway that we've been talking about, or that I've been talking about, and you can grab the collectible there. But I'm going to assume that you don't have anything, you just hopped in streets for the first time or millionth time, what have you. And this time I'm not going to grab the balloon gun, even though I do love it. In streets, it's not super useful here though, because it's at the end of the level anyway, so just going through it semi-normally is good enough. Sometimes I get that like just right when I'm coming through and I throw the, and I grab / throw the what do you call it, sledgehammer through the glass, and I time it well, but sometimes I don't. Yeah, I get hand up here where it's invisible, crouch, climb up here. Not all of this is climbable, by the way, just this little strip is, because you're actually climbing the outside of the inside of the gym on the other side. Just by the way, in case you hadn't, or in case you were curious at all. So then I do a little hop here. It's been a little while since I've done this, but it's not that bad. Then you grab onto any parts of here, you climb up onto here, and you skip the entire gym area and everything. Then sometimes you can grab this pipe with a really good jump, running jump, off of the stairs, but sometimes it's easier just to grab the light and then up here like I'm doing. So now what you want to do is go to the end here and hop over the side. Here is the Boneworks box I've been talking about this whole time. For some reason my left hand rarely deals damage. And here is the Omni Wrecker. Yay! So now all we need to do is get it into the reclamation bin that is right over there. Unfortunately, I do not have the skill to hop up there and hop the fence. So what I do is either you can get caught by the thing and then avoid falling in the pipe. What I mean by that is run out into the street, the cube thing will grab you, and then try not to fall in the pipe, and then you'll be able to just progress through the level as normal. Or you can climb up here, hop up here, grab this. It's a bit nerve-wracking, but it's not that bad of a jump or grab or climb. And then hop up here, and regardless, just fling yourself across. If you can get onto this upper balcony, that's great. If you can't, that's fine. It just takes a couple of extra seconds to run up here and get back up onto that balcony. Yeah, see, we're pretty much back at the balcony anyway. But yeah, if you can land up here, that's great. That saves a bit of your time, I suppose. Then just drop off here, because that is the reclamation bin right there. So once this guy hits the blue mesh of the reclamation bin, it has been collected and you are good. So the penultimate collectible out of all these is this guy. I forget exactly what his name is. This is the Omni Wrecker. This is the Omni something. Anyway, so this guy can be found in Runoff, actually, pretty near the beginning of the story levels and beginning of the game in general. This guy is in a fan, quote unquote. In Runoff, there is a little puzzle thing to get to it, and it's in the first half of Runoff, and it's actually just through here. So if you can sprint quickly enough, like I just did, you can get through to the back half, and the collectible is right there. Otherwise, you can go the normal way. And the puzzle is basically about... oh, I didn't need to do that, but okay. The puzzle is basically about moving these platforms, and they move on their own, so you have to move them all the way to one side and then run across. It's not that complex or anything, but I thought I might as well tell you. I thought that this was all climbable. I guess it's not. I guess it's just this upper part. Yeah, okay. So by the way, this is the easiest way to get up here, aside from using the blue pipe, because you don't have to worry about any puzzles. So just hit that. And this time we aren't going to use the pipe jump to left, because we don't need to. Or not need, but it wouldn't really help us. So it's actually right in this room here. But obviously we can't just walk through the wall, so we go through here and loop around, punching a few guys in the face along the way. Feel free to grab an actual weapon. I just have kind of trained myself not to because of all the speed running. Punch. Okay, so now we just go left. Basically, we just follow the normal flow of the level layout. Okay. And then just mount up here. It's not that bad. Remember to crouch your legs when you do mount in the game. I mean. Otherwise, your legs will get in the way. So, now we're all the way around back on the other side of this opening area, as you can see. So right through there is where you start the level, and if you run quickly enough you can just get back here immediately. Regardless, here's the little puzzle thing I told you about, where you can change the variable speed, and this pushes them to right. Yeah, you probably want to do that anyway. I believe all down is the easiest, and then just hop across. Now this is pretty tough. Thankfully, it is grabbable. And yeah, this happens sometimes. Sometimes the Boneworks box is there, sometimes it isn't there. So let me go back and reset this level. I don't know why, out of all of the Boneworks boxes in the game, For some reason, that one just does not like to spawn. But I found it in the time just before recording when I was double checking where it was. So let's see if it's there this time. A little bit of lag. Okay, it's not there again. Yeah, I think it's just random. Scenes. Runoff. Yeah, if you don't have Nimbus Gun, it can be a bit difficult to run through here every time. Good news is you should get better at running through the 2 gates as they're trying to close on you here. Because you really have to be quick. And you have to do some good jumps to get through. And then you can just reopen that, of course. But I'm going to use Nimbus Gun anyway, because it's slightly faster than running over. Yeah, see, there we go. It's completely random. So, let's pretend that that's what happened before. I will include that part though, because it's good to know. I think that if you don't see a Boneworks box there, that's fine. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just random, unfortunately. And if you do kind of fall, you can grab onto these grates, both the upper and lower, and you can grab onto these, which is probably a good idea in this case, because if you jump from a higher location, you have kind of a better shot at landing. A better shot, not guaranteed. To get back up there, you can just walk through here. Walk through here and you'll see stairs. Yeah. You're in this place again. And then go through this door and this door. And then you'll be back at the top. And then just red button to get them over to the right again. That first time I got there pretty quickly, but it does take a bit of patience and coordination, which I did not have that time. So let's try it again. Normally, if you climb on top of that roof, you can get a good enough jump to either just grab onto the Boneworks box or actually get into the little fan alcove thing. So let's try that again. I don't know if you can climb these things, actually. I don't know. It's possible. Oh, like that. See, there. It is possible to get through. Absolutely. Just takes a bit of coordination. Yep, and there we go. Here is this Omni thingamabob. I forget what the actual name is, but yeah. It's what the wannabe Combine soldiers are, but without the projection, I think. So now all we need to do is get this to the reclamation bin. And yeah, I think the easiest way to do that is to do the pipe jump. Because I love the pipe jump, and in every single video that I'm here, I think I use the pipe jump. So let's go this way, and I will show you what the pipe jump is if you haven't seen it before, because it is great. It's not as great as the balloon gun thing in Streets, where you can get everywhere in the level super easily. I keep falling down here. I don't need to do that. Anyway, it's not quite that good, but you can get pretty much everywhere in the level really easily and quickly. It's like a nice little back alley to the majority of the level. So yeah, let's hit this. You don't need to. Actually, no, you do need to. Maybe, possibly. It's just, I like going this way because the pipe is right there. You do need to take out a few of these guys though, because this is a hard enough jump as it is. So, this pipe is climbable, but not here, not here. Right here along this edge. Be sure to crouch in game, otherwise your legs will get in the way. and then stand up here. Not there, here. You're trying to get onto that ledge. So land your hands here, mount, keep your legs in-game crouched, and then face a bit to the right. That way you don't fall off, and ta-da, you're up here. You don't need to, obviously, but if you would like to just get to the end really quickly and you don't have Nimbus Gun or any other ways to fly, this is pretty nice to skip to the end. Even though we don't actually need to go to the end, because there are 2 reclamation bins in this level. The one that is super obvious at the end, and the other one that is mildly inaccessible. That is really easy to get to through this back alley. And we should be coming up on it any moment. Yep, the awesome black building of non-existence. Not this one, which looks like it's non-existent, but it has a hitbox. This guy doesn't. Bit lag, of course, because the game is mildly confused why you just went from one area of the level to another area of the level that it wouldn't expect. But regardless, here is the reclamation bin right here, and once your collectible is in the reclamation bin, it has been collected and you are done. Collect them all. We have. So, if you'll bear with me for a little while, because this is the end of the How to Find series when it comes to these collectibles. I intend to do all of the ammo soon. I don't know if that'll be after the How to Fight series, because I'm going back to that. I recorded it months ago, then I did the rest of this, and now I'm thinking of going back to it. But yeah, so all ammo is coming at some point, but as for collectibles, I think it's 149. That may be wrong, or the wrong number, but we have gone through all of them. All of Melee, which was a lot of going to Museum over and over. Ranged, which was pretty smooth, I would say. I know that this blue one with the sight is a bit tough to get, and this one with the black one with the red sight, that's only in, what was it, train station, yeah. Then Fantasy, pretty easy, a lot of going to Museum again. Katana is obviously a tough one to get if you don't have Nimbus Gun, because it's in Time Tower way up there. Miscellaneous, which took probably the most effort, and I knew that would take the most effort, and I was thinking about putting Miscellaneous at the end anyway, because physics is really easy, but I didn't, and started off with Baseball RNG. Pretty easy there. Then gym blocks, which are such a pain to research and remember, from the, gray quote-unquote, or blue quote-unquote, rectangular prisms there. The soup, which you wouldn't expect that it could be reclaimable, and then the, the shopping cart that's at the top tower, Noodle Dog, and then some of these weird ones. Then yeah, with Soccer Ball and all these, starting to get into Redacted as well as handgun range. Then Physics, which is basically go to Time Tower and you'll find them. But there were a few of these that were just normal collectibles, like these. I think that one is in handgun range at the end. But yeah, most of these are just in Time Tower, and then of course the welder gun thing from Hover Drunkers, and the toughest gun to get in the game, or collectible to get in the game in my opinion, the board gun, because you have to get all of the arena challenges. So I would say that's hardest, and then of course enemies. So this has been pretty easy to go through enemies. It's just a bit difficult to remember where they are because they're pretty sporadic throughout the levels. Except for Turret and Nullman, I would say they're pretty, and Ford Head, I would say they're pretty, expected. Everything else is kind of chaotic. And ending this off is the guy that I call wannabe Combine Soldier. These guys are probably the most deadly. No, they are the most deadly enemies in the game, in my opinion. These guys are such a pain, but they're also kind of easy to take out with range or a good punch to the face. So, these guys you would think, being last on the list, I don't know why I have lag there. What is going on, game? Anyway, you would think that they would be at the end of the game, you know, throne room or arena dungeon. Nope, they are in runoff. Or the collectible that is in runoff. So this collectible is actually in the runoff of runoff. There's a trench of literal trash and garbage, and that is where this collectible is. So first we're going to do the pipe jump. You don't have to, obviously, you can go through the game normally, but for completion's sake, and it is the last-ish, or the last episode video thing for collectibles, so I might as well finish it off with showing you everything from the main menu to the collectible to the reclamation bin. So the pipe jump is to our left. Again, you don't have to take it. You can get to, I would say 2/3 of the way through the level. It's after you slide down the incline. The big incline, and meet a bunch of zombies, I think for the first time in the game, if you're playing it normally. Maybe for the first time in the game period, but anyway, right after that is where the collectible is, but I prefer this method because it's frankly pretty fast, and don't worry if you don't get that jump the first time at all. It took me ages to get that jump figured out. But yeah, the main thing is to try and land with your hands straight down momentum wise, not forward, otherwise you'll push against the wall and push yourself off. So try and land your hands straight down, canceling out your momentum, or against your momentum, so like kind of like that. And then crouch your legs in the game and mount up, twist, and then slightly face into the wall, that way you don't fall off. Because if you just run, there's a chance that you'll just fall off because it's a pretty small ledge. While I was talking there, we're pretty much to the runoff, where you slide down the incline. So going through this black building will get us to the other side. There are other ways to get from that side to this side, but this is the easiest. You do have to suffer through some lag though as the game loads in, but here we go. We are now at the incline, so we can just hop down. And the collectible isn't up here, it's actually, again, in the trench. So, just try not to get killed. None of these guys are the guys that throw the blue light, or the blue, like, glitchy stuff at you, which is great. So, it is right here. Last collectible is right here. At least... So, on a normal 100% run, this is obviously not the last one. You want to just go through all levels smoothly and not have to repeat anything, but as far as the last one that the game shows in its order and sequence is right there, the wannabe Combine Soldier guy. So, now all we need to do is get back up, which is a bit of a pain. Unless you have a way to fly, of course. But assuming that you don't, hop up here. And as a suggestion to anyone who's looking to get all the collectibles, I would highly suggest, since you need to get it anyway, getting the Nimbus gun first. And unfortunately that means getting a lot of ammo from these original or story levels. So because once you get the Nimbus gun, you can just fly around all the levels except for handgun range, admittedly, and redacted, admittedly. But most of the collectibles you can just find by flying around with the Nimbus gun. Not to mention that makes exploration just easier in general. Yeah, easier in general. So try and get your hand here. So this is a little shortcut. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It worked that time. I basically mounted on top of the light and then hopped over here. Otherwise, you just use the yellow pipe and you're here. So the easiest place to reclaim this is just the reclamation bin at the end of the level. So we just have to go through this slicey room here. And the easiest way to do that is just to hold on to this. Apparently it's possible to run up the side of this, which is obviously faster than waiting for this to slowly revolve around. But this is kind of the safest and easiest way to get through that. And then to our left is the reclamation bin. So, yeah, once you got this guy, just throw him in the reclamation bin. Once it hits that blue mesh, it has been collected, and you are good.